Africa is a vast and diverse continent, home to 54 unique nations. It spans from the northern hemisphere all the way to the southern tip, boasting every kind of natural landscape you could imagine, from tropical islands and sweeping coastlines to scorched deserts and dense forests. It's huge, endlessly fascinating, and teeming with life, and with such scale comes an incredible range of rare and lesser-known creatures. So buckle up as we take a whirlwind journey across this magnificent land to uncover 15 of the strangest animals roaming Africa today. Let's start off with number 15, African civet. This oddball mammal looks like it was put together from leftovers. A body with leopard spots, a raccoon-style mask, and a tail that wouldn't look out of place on a lemur. The African civet is a nocturnal omnivore that eats anything it can get: fruit, rodents, birds, insects, and even carrion. It's a survivor, no doubt about it. But the weirdest thing about the civet isn't what it looks like or what it eats, it's what comes out of it. From glands near its tail, it produces a musky substance called civetone, which humans somehow decided to use in perfumes. That's right, for years, people paid hundreds of dollars to dab on something that came from a civet's butt. Thankfully, synthetic alternatives are now the norm. In the wild, civetone isn't about smelling fancy, it's for marking territory and letting others know who's around. With all its quirks, the civet is one of Africa's funkiest creatures, equal parts mysterious, resilient, and just the right amount of gross. Number 14. Aardvark. Aardvarks don't look like anything else in the animal kingdom, and that's part of their whole deal. Built like a cross between a pig and a kangaroo with a snout that looks like it was pulled from a cartoon, these mammals are pure utility. Their name comes from Afrikaans and means earth pig, and honestly, that checks out. They live underground, dig like professionals, and only emerge at night to get to work. Their diet? Termites and ants by the thousands. They use sharp claws to rip open mounds and a long, sticky tongue to scoop up their prey. A single aardvark can eat over 50,000 insects in one night. Their sense of smell is sharper than a bloodhound's, and their hearing picks up the tiniest rustle. They don't rush. They don't panic. They burrow. They vanish. And they survive in silence. Nobody's out here trying to ride an aardvark into battle, but they've got everything they need to thrive where flashier animals fall apart. Number 13. Dik-dik. Well, small doesn't mean helpless. The dik-dik barely reaches knee height, but it's one of the most alert creatures in Africa. Weighing under 15 pounds, it blends into the dry grasslands and thickets of eastern and southern Africa, staying low, quiet, and constantly aware. Those large eyes and mobile ears are always working. If anything even twitches nearby, it freezes or bolts, no hesitation. Pairs stay together for life, staking out a small territory and fiercely defending it from other couples. Instead of scent marking with glands like most animals, dik-diks use a special gland below the eye to smear a sticky substance on twigs and leaves. Strange, yes, but effective. Their diet of leaves, shoots, and fruit gives them enough moisture that they rarely need to seek out water. A risky move when predators are always watching. And when panic hits, they let out a sharp, whistle-like alarm that sounds like their name. That sound, zik-zik, gave them the name. It's the softest animal with the sharpest instincts. Number 12. Greater kudu. Nicknamed the Gray Ghost, for how easily it vanishes into dry bush, the greater kudu isn't built for speed, it's built to disappear. Males have those iconic spiraling horns, sometimes reaching over 6 feet long, twisting like polished corkscrews. They're not just for display, they're part of a quiet arms race among males during the breeding season. Instead of wild battles, kudus mostly posture, locking horns in slow, deliberate duels that look more like wrestling matches than fights. These antelopes have vertical white stripes on their bodies, a perfect match for the dappled shade of the savanna. Males can tip the scales at 460 pounds, standing around 5'3" at the shoulder, while females are smaller and hornless. Despite their size, they're surprisingly elusive. Living in small groups, they browse on leaves, shoots, and fruit, mostly active during dawn and dusk, Their strength lies not in brute force, but in stillness. They survive not by being the fastest, but by being the hardest to find. Number 11. Klipspringer. This little antelope doesn't play by the usual rules created by Mother Nature. The klipspringer moves like it was made by parkour gods, jumping across jagged rock faces and squeezing into crevices where almost nothing else dares to follow. It stands on the very tips of its hooves, thanks to uniquely structured foot joints that give it perfect balance on the narrowest ledges. It doesn't run, it climbs. And when predators like leopards or hyenas come calling, the klipspringer goes vertical instead of horizontal. That tiny frame? It's armored with a dense, coarse coat of hollow hairs, great for temperature control, but even better for blending into stone-colored landscapes. This animal is less about speed and more about control, more about the quiet advantage of elevation. It pairs up for life, with mated couples keeping watch for each other on cliff faces and rocky outcrops. If you ever spot one, you probably won't spot it for very long. Number 10. The sable antelope. The sable antelope isn't just another pretty face in the African wild. It's built like a tank with a race car's flair. Just look at it. Stocky body, long face, and those unmistakable backward curving horns that spiral like they're showing off. And they're not just decorative. Those horns can reach up to 1.6 meters, and both males and females wear them like a crown. Born a soft reddish brown, their coats darken with age, and by the time they're fully grown, the males are jet black with stark white facial markings. Talk about aging with style. These antelopes roam savannas and woodlands in southern Africa, often sticking in herds led by a single dominant male. They're not quick to back down when threatened, and have been known to turn those dramatic horns into lethal weapons. With a calm gaze and the power to charge if needed, sable antelopes manage to look majestic and deadly at the same time. A perfect mix of beauty and brute force. Number 9. Shoebill. The shoebill doesn't look like it belongs on this planet. It stands over 4 feet tall, with a wingspan that can stretch beyond 8. What really sets it apart, though, is that massive blunt bill, more like a wooden clog than a bird beak. It isn't just for show. This thing crushes prey. Shoebills eat lungfish, frogs, even baby crocodiles, and they do it with eerie patience. They'll stand still for hours, barely blinking until the exact moment to strike. When they do, it's sudden, violent, and weirdly precise. They're loners by nature, nesting deep in wetland grasses from Zambia to South Sudan. That prehistoric vibe. It's real. Shoebills move slowly, look serious, and let their deadpan face do the talking. Despite their size and hunting prowess, they're vulnerable. Habitat loss and human disturbance are constant threats. But as long as there are thick marshes and murky waters, the shoebill remains one of the most unsettling, unforgettable birds on the planet. Number 8. Colobus gareza. With its dramatic black and white coat and ridiculously stylish tail, the mantled gareza looks like it's always ready for a runway. Found in the forests and woodlands of Central and East Africa, this old-world monkey is instantly recognizable by the flowing white fringe that drapes over its sides, paired with a long, bushy tail tipped in white. That look isn't just for show. Garezas use their flashy appearance to communicate social status within their groups. Males can weigh up to 33 pounds, females slightly less, and they spend nearly their entire lives in the canopy, launching themselves up to 15 meters between branches. Their diet? Mostly young leaves, fruit, and flowers, broken down by a specialized multi-chambered stomach designed for fermenting tough plant fibers. Groups range from 3 to 15, with a single dominant male leading the charge. Sadly, habitat destruction and hunting for bushmeat and their iconic fur threaten these forest acrobats. Their elegance is matched only by the quiet resilience they carry in those treetops. Number 7. Okapi. There's nothing else like the okapi. It has the striped legs of a zebra, the body of a small horse, and just enough giraffe DNA to make its biology confusing. For decades, it was written off as a myth, until scientists finally confirmed its existence in 1901. Found deep in the rainforests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, this shy, forest-dwelling animal rarely shows itself. It's got a dark velvet coat, with zebra-like stripes on the hind legs that serve as camouflage in the filtered light of the forest floor. The long tongue is flexible enough to clean its own eyelids and pluck leaves from high branches. Females tend to be larger than males, and after a 14-month pregnancy, they give birth to a single calf, one that can stand and walk within an hour. Okapis mark territory with scent glands on their feet and communicate with low-frequency sounds humans can't hear. It's not flashy, it's not loud, it just exists, quietly and beautifully. Number 6. Lelwel hartebeest. Not every antelope is built for a sprint. The Lelwel hartebeest is built for the long haul. With a tall, narrow frame and oddly shaped head, it doesn't look fast, but it can outwalk almost anything. That endurance means it can cross open plains for hours, searching for grazing grounds and scattered water sources in landscapes where speed won't save you. Native to Central and Eastern Africa, this species once covered vast swaths of grassland. Now it's fighting for space. Human development, agriculture, and conflict have fragmented its range. Once common, it's now listed as vulnerable. Still, hartebeests play a crucial role, turning soil as they graze, spreading seeds, and maintaining the health of open ecosystems. Their curved horns are sharp and symmetrical, used mostly for defense and ritual scuffles during the breeding season. Though not flashy, these antelopes are tough, mobile survivors, less show, more go. And in a world where flash doesn't guarantee survival, the Lelwel hartebeest is built exactly right. Number 5. East African oryx. The East African oryx doesn't just survive the desert, it owns it. With pale beige fur, striking black facial markings, and a dark side stripe that looks like it's made for speed, this antelope is a master of camouflage in wide-open landscapes. Both sexes sport long, straight horns that can grow up to 47 inches, perfectly designed for defense and settling scores. But what's even more impressive is what's going on inside. These animals can raise their body temperature to avoid sweating, reducing water loss in brutal heat. They get most of their moisture from what they eat: shrubs, grasses, and acacia pods, meaning they can go for long stretches without touching a drop of water. That independence gives them access to territories too harsh for other large herbivores, cutting down on competition. When waterholes become hunting traps, the oryx doesn't show up. It thrives in isolation, on its own terms, in the middle of nowhere, living proof that evolution doesn't mess around when it comes to desert survival. Alright guys, now let's talk about number 4. Somali ostrich. This bird doesn't fly, but it sure doesn't need to. This ostrich can tower up to 9 feet and sprint at speeds over 43 miles per hour, powered by muscular legs that could knock a lion clean off its feet. Found in Somalia, Ethiopia, and northern Kenya, it differs from the common ostrich by its bare blue-gray neck and legs, which turn even more vibrant in males during breeding season. It's a desert specialist designed to handle extreme heat with feathers that act like insulation, keeping it cool under a brutal sun. These birds don't drink often. They get moisture from plants and can go for long periods without a water source. Males take charge of nesting and raising the young, often brooding eggs from multiple females. It's not a bird that backs down either. When cornered, it'll kick, and that kick can be fatal. Despite its dominance in the wild, habitat loss and poaching threaten this species. Still, it moves with confidence, born to run where most life gives up. Number 3. African wild dog. This is Africa's most underrated predator, and easily one of the most effective, the African wild dog, with its patchy coat and radar dish ears, thrives on chaos and coordination. It doesn't rely on sheer strength or stealth. It uses the pack. These dogs are built for distance. They'll maintain 37 miles per hour for miles, chasing prey in coordinated waves that wear it down, trap it, and finish it fast. Unlike most carnivores, wild dogs are weirdly democratic. The alpha doesn't eat first. Instead, the entire pack feeds together, even regurgitating food for the pups and the injured. That bond is what makes them lethal. Each member plays a role, and everyone pulls their weight. Still, they're in trouble. Habitat loss, disease and human conflict have pushed them to endangered status. Their numbers have plummeted, but the few packs that remain are unmatched in their precision. They're not just hunters, they're strategists and super deadly. Number 2. Pangolin. Covered in armored scales, the pangolin looks like it's wearing medieval chainmail, and it kind of fights like it too. When threatened, it curls into a tight ball and lets those razor-sharp keratin plates do all the talking. No claws, no teeth, just pure defense. That's usually enough to make predators walk away. Despite being mammals, they look like a reptile's daydream, but they're soft underneath and tragically one of the most trafficked animals on Earth. People hunt them for their meat and for scales falsely believed to have medicinal value, mostly in Asia. That demand has pushed several pangolin species to the edge. In the wild, they're quiet and shy, digging into termite nests and anthills with curved claws, then using a sticky, freakishly long tongue to snatch up insects. That tongue, it can be longer than the pangolin's body. They live alone, mostly at night, wandering in search of bugs, not bothering anyone. And yet they've become a global symbol for exploitation. Number 1. Gray-crowned crane. The gray-crowned crane isn't just Uganda's national bird, it's the wetland's most elegant show-off. With a tall, slender body, gray plumage, white-tipped wings, and a head topped by a golden crown of stiff feathers, this bird looks like it is dressed for a royal ball. Add in that vibrant red throat pouch, and it's basically a walking fashion statement. But this bird isn't all looks, it's got moves, too. During courtship, pairs perform elaborate dances with bows, hops, and synchronized wing flaps, complete with loud honking calls that sound like trumpets with attitude. These cranes mate for life, and even keep up the dancing long after the honeymoon's over. They thrive in marshes, savannas, and open grasslands across sub-Saharan Africa, using those long legs to wade through shallow water. With a wingspan of over 6 feet and a height of 3, they're hard to miss. Elegant, bold, and fiercely loyal, the gray-crowned crane is more than just a national symbol, it's a flying icon. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.